Dumb.
Hello there, Reject Nation. I'm Greg Alba.
I'm John Humphrey.
We're going to do a video podcast. That's right, where we don't cut it. Whatever we say could be dumb or clever or smart. It's time to have a serious discussion today. I think talking about movie news and hypothetical scenarios is one of the most important things you could do on the internet.
Definitely.
This is a top reward to request from a man named Michael B. You might have seen our video we did with him about dream solo villain origin movies. That was a great time. I really had a wonderful time filming with the guy. Omni Media, go check his channel out. So his request this time
Was not to join us.
what
Never again.
franchise has gone off the rails that you would want the original cast to return to save. I think this is inspired by the fact that Sam Neill is returning for Jurassic World 3. We know Jeff Goldblum helped get Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom over $1 billion, right? It was
Yep.
all the Goldblum, all that plug. All right, John, let's just hop right into this. You kick it off, buddy. What do you think? What franchise can be resurrected, properly saved?
Well, I mean, the first one that came to mind is a gimme, so I'm gonna get it out of the way quick. And I think Alien is one that definitely excited people when they were like, "We're gonna do the sequel thing," and then they didn't, and then Halloween did it instead.
I'm so sick of feminism, John.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm probably gonna go away from.
So sick of it.
That's right. Well, get ready because
Anytime a woman does anything, I'm like, feminism is in my face.
Well, maybe you could just reboot Predator and only bring back Arnold because it's the only person you could bring back from the original Predator.
and that's more like it.
You know, and then you can just have
That's
it
more
be
like it.
like a one-on-one versus movie or something. But for
I
actual,
don't think. Wait, why are we just jumping topics here? Alien would be great, John. That would be a great call. All the Alien movies have kind of gone downhill since Sigourney Weaver starred in Alien 3.
Yeah,
but I think you're in specific reference to the Neil Blomkamp, the idea of bringing back Newt Hicks. Hicks?
yeah,
Hicks McGee.
Hicks McGee.
and Ripley, obviously, doing that whole
and the
Halloween
power
thing.
loader.
Yeah, and you get Bishop back too. They all haven't aged at all.
Church.
That would be great.
Or no, Jones. Sorry, wrong movie, cat.
It's
Jones.
Goose. But yeah, getting all them back would be really cool. I'd be excited for that. I mean, I feel like all of us would be very excited for that. The Aliens is, I think, a little more reference than Alien is. And I feel like fans would be very excited for that. What about you guys in the comments? Huh? Would you want Hicks and Ripley, Newt to return?
But under the
This is a
different
podcast.
director's hands. See, that's the funny thing to me is in thinking of this list, I started thinking about a lot of franchises, and I was like, I started to realize that franchises that could be saved by the cast are a different breed than like franchises that could be saved by like a director or something. Because like Pirates of the Caribbean came to mind, but then I was like, it would never matter if you got the original cast back because they've been there for half the movies, and it really changed once they got out of part 3 into complete blockbuster roller coaster territory.
Well, the next one is not going to have Johnny Depp.
At all.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So
All new
it's in
people
need
of
of
the
saving
Caribbean.
because that franchise has gone downhill ever since they announced that. Other than that, it's been really on the uppity up since then.
All right. And then I thought, maybe The Mummy, but that the original cast saw that through to part 3. And
No, Rachel
Weisz.
Weisz,
we
Rachel yeast infection was not brought back
it's true. She
after
needs
they
to say-
feminist the shit out of the Mummy Returns.
and everybody outcried. They were like,
Outcried.
this isn't what I want in my
Feminism's
fantasy
in
movie.
the face of hot women fighting
I want 5 months of action
ridiculous
training.
vehicle.
Yeah, I'm like it's.
We watched
really
the
get-
Mummy Returns when we were at Dan and Alyssa's wedding
That's
at
why I
the
thought of
hotel, and it was that movie's so much fun. They don't make
know.
popcorn flicks like that anymore. They just know how to just be nothing but fun. Oh well, You know, the cast alone wouldn't save it. They got a different director for Tomb Raider. What the fuck was that one called? Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
The Dragon Emperor, or whatever. Yeah.
Too long of a subtitle. That's where they went wrong.
The Mummy 3, Tomb Raider 2, Cradle of Life.
But yeah, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor was a pretty terrible film. But I think bringing back the director and Rachel Weisz would really help a lot, because Maria Bello, as great of an actress as she is not good in that role. Like, she was very bland. I think you would, I don't know, Brendan Fraser returning.
Well, that's the other thing too, is
now.
I thought that those movies, I found out, kind of broke him physically in a lot of ways. So I don't think, it would be. That's the thing, is in trying to formulate this, I kept running into these pitfalls of like, I thought Nightmare on Elm Street would be great, but they already made New Nightmare, which is kind of probably the only avenue you could go down if you got the original Nightmare on Elm Street cast back, you know.
Well, I mean, they did. Wasn't the last Nightmare still Jackie Earl Haley?
Yeah,
that was the last one. So I think bringing back Edward Footlong. What's his name?
Edward Footlong. Robert Englund.
Robert Englund. Maybe there was an E in there.
However, speaking of Edward Furlong, from Dusk Till Dawn, the franchise, if you brought back the original movie cast and did some kind of weird follow-up on that, you could theoretically correct that, even though the show was pretty good for a couple seasons.
Old man Seth.
And
I can't remember Robert Englund, but I remember George Clooney's character name.
Edward Footlong.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think that a franchise that I like the From Dusk Till Dawn show, though. I thought what they did with the characters there was great. Mm-hmm. It's not the definitive one, but I really think this one, while I enjoyed the reboot, in the minority here, I don't prefer it over the originals, and I think we can all agree this franchise would definitely be saved if you had just made a part 3 instead of a reboot. I'm talking about Hellboy. Hellboy would have easily been a lot more profitable and probably a lot more well received if you just got Ron Perlman. Literally, it is Guillermo del Toro's movie, but the one truly campaigning for it was Ron Perlman.
Oh yeah.
And that's number 4.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's your number 4. You say,
Ding. You know what?
You say stuff like that. I don't know. Oh yeah. And damn it, I forgot the other thing now.
When we have a little bit more graphical capability on this channel, where it's easy to just drop things in, we can just keep a counter each video of all my fun phrases. And then if we ever make toys, dude, we can just have each of our buffer words as all the fun phrases they say.
Damn, you had the original 3, and that was the 4th one. But all right, whatever. We're getting off topic here. Hellboy would be greatly saved by having Ron Perlman come back. Honestly, even if you don't get Guillermo back,
if you get Ron Perlman and you
get the
Doug Jones,
if you get the cast,
they're crucial too.
It would make a big difference, because you'd have no choice but to sort of adhere to the aesthetic. It gets Taika Waititi to direct it.
Oh my god, but that would work. See, the thing about this is that I wonder, because the walls are like, the fact that so many, that the walls have come down on sequels in a sense, and we can do this thing now where it's already becoming a trend where we're going, ignore all these sequels and we're just going to attach something to this part of the story. Like, it wouldn't be the same thing doing that with Hellboy now, but I feel like in wake of what just happened with the newest Hellboy movie, now's probably a better time than ever, or maybe in a couple years, to start that Hellboy 3 conversation, because maybe people would finally be like, we want to see this version play out.
People would be happy. I think people would be happy about it. I mean, I think the audience response to the Hellboy reboot was definitely better than the critical response. But let's face it, everyone would rather still get a Hellboy 3 than a follow-up to this last one.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't mind a follow-up. The makeup, and it's great. Shouts out to the man who did the makeup on that movie.
What's up, man?
But you had quite a few. I have 3 franchises. One of them was Alien. You have
I have
19.
I have 3. If we no, those are all the ones I was gonna just quickly mention. Yeah, I mean, if we share Alien, then I basically have 2 that I think that I really came up with as answers, where I'm like, yeah, this could maybe work.
Okay. What else you got?
I'm gonna go gonna save my best one for last, but I think maybe if you really brought the stars together and you got the original crew, again, it wouldn't just be the original cast. If you got like all the original crew behind Scary Movie, the original Scary Movie, like those first two, even if one is regarded as better than the other, that's the only time where in that franchise I think we could all agree on a certain level of enjoyment for those movies. It's one of the few parody franchises that went pretty deep in terms of linear one name of this franchise installments. It's not like the Friedberg Seltzer verse where they're all kind of the same thing. It's like there are 5 scary movies and they all kind of diluted over time. But I feel like if you really got the whole Wayans clan back, and Anna Faris back, and all the other comedic actors who I'm trying to think now, I'm blanking on all like the people, but if you got Sean and Marlon Wayans back on screen and the rest of the army of Wayans is behind the camera, like that could perhaps be fun, because also too, horror has grown, it keeps growing, and I know Marlon Wayans has made like the haunted house movies and stuff, but again, it's just Marlon Wayans, I think.
Yeah, you could spoof like Hereditary and Babadook.
Well, the thing, see what you pointed out to me once. Yeah, but the thing is, depending, you kind of could, because what you pointed out to me was that even though I think Scary Movie 3 and 4 are pretty funny still in an Airplane kind of way, the production value does change. And what you pointed out to me is that the first two do handle themselves a lot more like actual horror movies than the second.
Well, yeah, it's look.
Yeah, and so I feel like maybe in the way that some of horror's aesthetics have evolved and the look and the filmmaking styles have evolved, that could actually be kind of fun.
I mean, a third of Scary Movie 3 was a parody of 8 Mile.
That's true. Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
The scariest movie of that year.
Yeah, man.
White guy trying to grow up in a ghetto black neighborhood and be a rapper. Oh my God.
Yeah, man. That was real. It's the real shit
terrifying.
That cuts to the core.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Simon Rex, man. Who's on the Cameo app doing shout outs. So sponsorship in the middle of this video.
Nice. Is he back to gay porn? Let's hope so.
That too.
Well, no, I don't think your Scary Movie idea is bad. I mean, where the fuck have the Wayans brothers been?
As a unit, I have no idea.
I mean, those two Wayans brothers.
Sean and Marlon.
Because I think there's 76 of them.
And all their, offspring who have cropped up to be in movies too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a bad call. I think that having them back would definitely bring back the... honestly, it kind of fell off the rails after part 2. Part 1 was literally the only well-regarded one in that. Yeah. Whereas part 2 is...
Part 2 is not... I don't love part 2 personally.
I kind of prefer 3 over 2.
I like 3. 3 has the same comedic approach to me that Airplane has, so there's a certain level of effort that I appreciated.
Yeah, but the Wayans brothers have a very specific kind of humor.
Very different flavor, yeah, for sure.
But whatever. I think a franchise that I haven't even seen the reboot, but I'm pretty sure, based off of from watching the trailers and from hearing what everyone else had to say about it, just seems apparent that I think the Men in Black franchise would greatly benefit from Will Smith coming back.
I thought of Men in Black. We should talk about this, because
the thing with Men in Black is that the world should be bigger than the two main leads. That the world should be more appealing than those two characters. Unfortunately, it's not. I mean, you need someone with that kind of energy and charisma, and I think that people would have only been... The thing is, Men in Black is so closely tied to Will Smith, more than Tommy Lee Jones. It's so linked to his image that I like not having him in it is... You're very aware of that.
Yeah.
And,
and
I think it would, box office wise, it would have performed better if you did a Men in Black 4 with Will Smith as opposed to a reboot. You probably could have had the same shitty film and then have Will Smith in it, and it probably would have made more money.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Because I guess the reason I ultimately didn't go with Men in Black is I thought to myself, I think it would take a lot more than the cast. It's like it's got to be in the writing somewhere. Because I keep wondering why Men in Black hasn't had more than one definitively good movie in its franchise.
It will have one special film, like that first
Yeah.
Men in Black is special. That's a special movie. I love that film. And the other ones are kind of whatever.
Well, yeah, they all feel like they're attempting to like wear the Men in Black costume, but they're not fully it for some reason. And it's weird because it seems like a universe that would be so easy to walk around in.
True, and I agree with that. And that's why I'm saying the world needs to be bigger than its agent letter.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's kind of weird how it falls under that.
And then you think there's so many people working at MIB. How did there are only 26 letters. Like, do you have double letter agents, or do we just stack them up and hope everybody knows what you mean?
That's a good point. I never even thought of that. I'm surprised I've never thought about that.
Or do they just have a really small
26 agents?
That whole room is their all the whole office.
Line up by alphabet. Yeah.
Oh man.
What's your third one?
My best one yet. I thought to myself, what could be exciting and what could be unexpected, and also benefit because a lot of the original cast did leave eventually. They swapped out the kid and all that. If we brought back the original cast to do a new Home Alone, think about how crazy that could be, because we could confront the past through the characters. If you centered it around an adult Kevin McAllister who's having some kind of family reunion, right? When like we still got Catherine O'Hara around, whoever's the guy who played the dad, I'm sure he exists still unless he's dead. I don't know.
He was at my dad's funeral.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't know my dad knew him. And to this day, I don't know his name.
Oh, no. Well, we'll both have to look him up for very different reasons after this. But, okay, so, maybe there's some kind of family reunion, and then Kevin is realizing through his own children that, like, things have trickled down from his family to him. Because he kind of had a horrible family. He was kind of a jerk of a kid in a lot of ways. So, you can have that. But then also, guess what? You got to add in some kind of travel element. Haven't quite cracked that yet, but it's many years later. The Wet Bandits, their parole is up. They're out of prison. You get Joe Pesci and the other guy to come out of retirement and like come back and get everyone together. It doesn't even have to be good at this point. But if you get that entire cast back together and, bring in some new kids for the future, Home Alone 5 or whatever could be great.
Or hear me out here. The protagonists are the Wet Bandits.
Oh, shit.
They're in jail.
Oh, no.
Everyone goes on a prison trip. They leave them behind.
Kevin is bringing his kids to the prison to scare them straight because they have no discipline.
And they set up traps for Kevin McAllister.
We gotta get him back.
Right?
Yeah.
You made Kevin the bad guy. No one would see that coming.
And then you could even bring back the
Until
old...
they see the trailer.
Yeah. And you could even bring back, like, they could freak him out at one point with the old movie that he hasn't heard in years. That I only just discovered yesterday as a fake movie within a movie that he plays.
Yeah. Keep the change. That movie? Yeah.
Angels with Filthy Souls or whatever it's called.
I think oh nope, lost it. Don't have it.
Well, this podcast is over. Thanks for joining us, people.
I had one, and it's
Halloween.
gone.
They did it.
I mean, you look,
and they're doing another sequel.
I think that you got.
And they're still like, ignore the sequel we just made. This is the actual part 2.
They gotta make bring back the guy who played Jason. Because the franchise just hasn't been the same.
Bring back
all noticed.
the original boy who played Jason in the first movie, and resurrect the woman. She's not with us still, is she? The woman who played Pam. Bring back Pamela Voorhees and her sweater.
I don't think so.
I feel like she has shuffled the mortal coil, but I would love to see her in another movie again.
Oh, I think we like really dissected this down to the best possible core you can do it at. Mm-hmm. Because if a movie has a remake, does that qualify it as a franchise? If let's take Point Break for example. Like if Point Break, Patrick Swayze's passed, so you had Point Break,
CG his face.
Then you have a remake. I haven't seen Point Break. Does Patrick Swayze die in it?
I don't remember.
You can
honestly.
ruin it for me.
I don't remember. Truth be told, that's not
it's
what
my fault.
I remember.
It's been 30 years. I should have seen it by now.
I feel very foggy. I feel like he gets away somehow, but I don't remember exactly. It's been several. We watched it. We had meatball subs. I really enjoyed myself. I marveled at how good of a performance Gary Busey gives, because like everybody's on a different level in that movie.
Well, imagine bringing back
Gary Busey, Lori Petty,
but not Keanu Reeves. Ooh, that would be good.
Definitely, yeah. CGI
okay, so
Patrick
what are
Swayze
some remakes that have come out recently?
Remakes of franchise films?
No, just a movie that's been remade.
Okay. We just had a remake of... Why am I blanking? The only thing I can think of at this exact moment is Pet Sematary.
There's like 14 remakes a year. And
I know.
Can't think of a single. I can't think of one either.
Don't think of an elephant.
They all just get lost in the zeitgeist.
You know what I thought of though? While you think of a remake, I realized I thought of Jurassic Park and hearing that Sam Neill's going to come back for Jurassic World 3. I think you have to truly, the only thing that would like really make me interested in another Jurassic Park movie to the point that I don't care how it turns out, I just want to see it, is if you brought the entire original cast who survived back.
Ooh.
You know, if you really got everybody, because we've proven with Jurassic Park 2, I guess arguably 2 and forward, that a partial original Jurassic Park cast does not work. Like, you brought back Jeff Goldblum for the last one, it didn't help other than to sell tickets. So like, if you brought back everybody, I think that could work.
And the little boy too.
Yeah, bring back the little boy, make him Chris Pratt's brother, and then pay off everybody who thought he was Chris Pratt.
I could just imagine the opening scene of Jurassic World 3 where Sam Neill's at the Caribbean. It takes place moments later after Jurassic Park. And he's just chilling. And he's got a bunch of like Hawaiian hoes around him, right? And he's like, now this is how you live a life on an island free of dinosaurs.
And then all of a sudden there's just a call, like a hawk call, but worse. And then there's just a shadow of a pterodactyl flies over.
Like, what the fuck?
God damn it! And just cut to the title. I want him to be like, the thing is, if they just bring him back, I really want that character to have changed. I really want him to be over this now, and I want him to be gruff and grumpy. Like, I want him to be Harrison Ford for this movie.
Yeah. Very well. Those are all the movies.
Yeah. No more remakes.
Just no other movies you can do.
I know. I feel like we're dredging all the things that could have. Like, I thought Rush Hour, but like every Rush Hour has the original cast.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
yeah, if they've had a show, that doesn't count.
Yeah, it's like, it's a lot of things where I'm like, oh, the directors.
How come we never got an Evil Dead 2?
That I would love to see, actually. If that counts for this argument, I would get genuinely excited, because I was always on board for that. Like, do an Evil Dead remake 2 and then find a way to, like, you could have crossed Mia into the Ash vs. Evil Dead show perfectly.
Yeah,
you could segue those movies into that show. And
how come we never made a sequel to that Evil Dead movie? It was a hit.
I don't honestly know, and I feel like
why? Because he didn't have an Ash, and very few people remember Mia.
That's true.
You remember Mia.
I know. Oh, well, and I feel like you think of that movie. I feel like that movie's notable, but I feel like what people remember is just like the attitude and the blood and the like hardcoreness of it more than any one individual character.
Yeah.
Know? So like, I get you. But every so often I'll see it pop up, and sometimes even Fede Alvarez will be like, which would you be interested in? This or Evil Dead 2. So like, it comes up in conversation sometimes.
The Jaws franchise. We bring
back that shark.
We bring the shark and Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss, yeah. Do another CG resurrection of oh god, what? I'm blanking on his name, and Andrew's gonna kill me.
Roy Scheider?
No, the other guy.
Oh, the dude who gives the monologue?
Yeah, him. Is he no longer with us either? I forget.
Yeah, he passed away before the movie came out.
Yeah, that's right. He never got to see it. Robert Shaw.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, guys, do you have any franchises that you think could be saved? You brought back the original cast.
Oh, last one.
Okay.
I thought this could be interesting, and it could start a new trend, because then you could. I thought I segued to this idea from Spider-Man, because I just thought, I like those original movies. It would be neat to see a cast come back.
Old Man Pete.
No, and then I thought if you brought back the cast of Tim Burton's original Batman and made a sequel to that universe and just kind of embraced the idea of multiverses and then just did that, like that could be neat.
You mean Michael Keaton?
Yeah, bring back Michael Keaton and bring back Michelle Pfeiffer if you want to, like anybody from that universe who you want to bring back and do like an
Val Kilmer.
And perhaps no, but in my theory of what this would do to franchises, then you could theoretically go into any franchise, pick any sequel you like, and go, we're spinning it off of this one.
Well,
you know, so like.
Well, I think another Spider-Man 4 with Old Man Pete would be cool.
I think it would be. Get Tobes McGuire back.
Old Man Mary Jane.
Yeah, Old Man Mary Jane. Old Man J. Jonah Jameson. Old Man Aunt May.
Yeah.
You know?
They're just old memory.
Like, pretty soon there are going to be no rules, and if there's just enough interest in anything, you can just bring it back with that cast if they're around and they want to do it.
That's true.
So, why not?
Michael B., thanks so much for requesting this, buddy. Guys, have you seen his channel yet? It's great. The guy's always taking off his shirt during reactions. He gets so jacked up when he watches a Kingdom Hearts trailer. He just takes off his shirt. It's really distracting. I'm surprised none of his thumbnails have him with his shirt off. Don't be self-conscious, man. That's the best kind of clickbait material. People will definitely click on that if they see your rock-hard abs, your chiseled chest, your obnoxiously gross right tricep.
Yeah. Well, and I would suggest even just streaming that way, like, you know, stream shirtless or in your underpants, you know, hey, take off your underpants if you want to.
Have the camera coming from below.
Yeah. And maybe, you know, like be tasteful, put a sock on yourself or something, but sex sells, man.
Not more than almost sex.
Almost sex is the best kind because that's the kind you can splash on a billboard. So... Nope.
We're done.
Almost sex.